Hey, Wes Buck here, Drag Illustrated Magazine, sitting down with the man, the myth, the legend, John Force. Hard to believe to be sitting down here with you. I appreciate you taking the time. What do you think? We're here in the NHRA Gator Nationals, Gainesville, Florida. Been an interesting day, a little bit of inclement weather, but we got a couple rounds in. John, where are you at right now?
I think I'm ninth.
Yeah.
My daughter Brittany, she's number one in top fuel, and Robert's second or third, and Courtney's fourth. So no, we got no complaints. We're all on the show. Coming in here, been a tough week. We're here to race now, and it's time. And you look at Peak and Chevrolet and Monster and Traxxas and Auto Club, all these people, Mac Tool, spend all this money. They want to race, and then all they're talking all week is rain.
Yeah.
And the day, clouds overhead, which created big numbers and on the track. So little rain off and on, but we're all qualified. Tomorrow's a new day, Saturday, and then again on Sunday. And you can watch all this on Fox, on FS1 TV with NHRA. So good weekend, a long week. We went to the St. Pete's race in Florida. My daughter married an Indy car racer.
Right.
You know how that is. So we're going to be on the road every weekend. But love Graham Rahal, knew his dad, Bobby, was there when he won the Indy 500. And so with Budweiser. So we're really excited. Long weekend down there with Chevrolet, keeping my nose out there in the media. But then we left there, and then it got harder. And it is hard. Signing autographs, being with the fans, long days, traveling on airplanes. But it's what we do, and I love it. So no complaints.
He told me to hold on. He goes, Wes, get to you in a minute. I got some kids out here, and I mean, what you do is taking the time for these kids. I mean, stacked up left and right, and you never, your hand hurt?
No, it was my grandson, Jacob, come over to me and said, Grandpa, all them kids are out there waiting, and even he understands it. So I went out and started, and Brittany will be out there, Courtney and Robert. But this week was special. St. Pete, Graham didn't get where he wanted to be with the Steak and Shake IndyCar. Hey, plug in Steak and Shake, look at that. Great place to eat, ate there last night actually.
I like Steak and Shake.
But Frisco burger's what I eat.
Oh really? I got like the double California style steak burger.
No, it's like a patty melt, but they call it a Frisco.
Yeah.
Anyway, point I'm getting at, then we went to Disneyland.
Really?
That's what you got to do. And we rode the rides. And that was 8 in the morning. When they opened at 10, we were in there and getting up early, having breakfast, going all day till late at night. And then we went to Disneyland Springs, had dinner down there at the boathouse. Great food, and just, but again, Disneyland is a job. But watching those grandkids and the children and how much fun they have,
oh, yeah.
I bet I rode Dumbo 4 times. A dummy like me rode Dumbo. Can you imagine that? But it is all about the kids. It's the happiest place on earth.
No question.
And that is. If they only served alcohol there, I could have a little bit of wine. I'd be perfect.
Me and you both, brother.
What you said? Talk crazy shit, so I'm talking crazy shit. I never interview like this.
Well, this is perfect. Well, what do you think about? You talked about Fox Sports 1, and I know the climate has changed. The corporate sponsorships, it's tough. I mean, I was just talking to this gentleman with PPG. What a guy! I mean, this guy's a great guy. We were talking about how the hospitality. I mean, John Force didn't always have these big hospitality tents. I mean, but you've taken your program to the next level. You're responding to what people want, right?
Well, Clemens put me together with PPG. He works for them, but we grew it over the last 10, 12 years. I have paint shops in Indy, right. PPG paint booths. We use all their paints, fastest paint on earth. Yeah. Outrun them NASCARs, outrun them Indy cars too. But it's amazing. It's a lot of friends out here. I built my first hospitality. We've always done it off-site from the races. But it's huge. It'll hold 150 plus the back. With my teams, it'll hold 200 people. A lot of money to build it, but Monster loves it. Peak loves it. You see the paint schemes changing every week on my race car. But they gotta enter. It's not just about a sign on a race car and winning championships.
It's not.
I mean, we've won 18 in the last 22 years, 23 years. We ain't done bad at it. The point I'm getting at is that it's about B&B business. And you'll see my car Peak antifreeze and coolant one week, and the next week it's Republic Services out of Arizona.
Right.
Every week a different brand will change. Will be some auto parts, some trucking companies later in the year.
Don't you think the ROI you can provide by being able to let Peak or PPG bring out some customers and let them hang out and be on this side of the ropes.
Well,
I mean, it's an unbelievable.
They'll bring a truckload.
It's an unbelievable experience.
Today was a gravy day. We'll work Saturday and Sunday, but they're selling the Friday spots too. But you know, it's part of the business. It's what you have to have. You got to entertain the customers and the people that buy the products, and that's really how it all works. But you're in the business. You're in the magazine. By the way, great stuff you do. I watch it all the time. And you did a feature story on us in the very beginning, so I'll never forget that.
I get a real quick story. This guy.
I need one on that dragster monster car. How do I get that?
Very quick. Very soon. Done deal.
Not tonight.
I called him to do an interview. He told me kept trying to get a hold of him. He told me to call him real early in the morning. He wanted me to call you really early in the morning on a Saturday before you got to the shop. So I called him and he said, "Kid, you got a tape recorder?" And I said, "No, John, I'm sorry. I normally just like to take notes. We just got the magazine started. I was a blithering idiot." And he goes, "Listen, go to Walmart, buy a voice recorder, call me back." And boy, am I glad I took his advice. We talked for 2 hours, and I'd have been taking notes. I never would have got the story done.
But I see a young individual like you that's got a passion for what you do, and I knew you'd make good stuff. It's worth the time for me, because that's what it's all about. And now magazines, media, TV, radio, it's all huge. But now the social media's gone nuts.
Oh,
and I got to be real careful.
Is.
Because sometimes you'll just say something, you don't have a clue what'll come out of my mouth, and then, boy, I got to take it back. And I hate doing that. And so I got to be very careful when you periscope crazy stuff. I always tell them, warn me. Yeah. But it's like Trump. Trump says what he says, and some love him, some don't. And I'm not into politics. Don't do that to me. I ain't getting into it. But
me either. We're here to make drag racing great again.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey,
that could be a hat.
I've got them. John, have you not seen our hats? I've already got them made.
Haven't seen it.
I've got one in the trailer. I'll bring you one over. I already got them made.
But it's speaking the truth, and I think that Trump does that. He speaks the truth. I think he's got a lot of ideas. I don't know if he can put everything together he claims he can fix. At least he's trying. But in the end, sometimes he says some crazy stuff that puts him backwards. So I don't know. I'm just watching. I'm watching, you know, what's going on in politics, and get on that treadmill in the evening and turn on, you know, Fox News or
on the treadmill.
You know, I live on a treadmill.
That's awesome. Well, speaking of good segue here.
Hey, you're getting politics out of John Person. That doesn't happen.
Well, hey, we're trying. Speaking of changing and trying stuff.
And I ain't saying who I'm voting for. I ain't ever telling anybody. You'll never know.
What do you think of Peter Clifford? And I mean, I see a guy here that's trying to change some stuff, trying to do something.
He already has.
I mean, it's something we haven't seen in the NHRA in a long time. I take my hat off to him. What do you think about him? I just talked about this with Ron Capps a minute ago. There's a new air. There's a little bit of a positivity in the air at these events that I haven't felt in a while.
Well, we're not saying, you know, when you look at ESPN, you know they're great. You see the stuff they do.
Yeah.
And our product was great. The only thing wrong was our time slots. Some weeks they'd be good and then they'd get bumped.
Right.
And of course, we as the racers got to learn how to stop the oil down so we can run on a schedule. And we're addressing that with NHRA and the pro organization. But what you got to look at is TV. You got to have live. People's, you know, their mind process. Their what the hell is it called? I can't think of it. Their
thought process.
No, when they only got so much time. You can get their
attention span.
Attention span.
We were
I had
getting
the
there.
word span. I couldn't think of attention. But you know, there's so many choices out there.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean? That you can get on your phones and you can find everything, but you can't find or see what you see on Fox. That's what's really happened. The ground shaking, 10,000 horsepower. You know, cars. You know, blow your eardrums out.
John Force going crazy on camera.
Yeah. Well, but it's the greatest show on earth. It's P.T. Barnum, okay, without elephants. But NHRA's P.T. Barnum. The tents go up, the trailers come in.
No question.
But P.T. Barnum ain't gonna have elephants either, and neither is the water parks. They're getting rid of the whales. So pretty soon drag racing is gonna have everything. But you're talking about cars that run 330 miles an hour, you know, in less than 4 seconds. And it's just an unbelievable ground shaking, nitromethane belching out the pipes. It's a feeling. I can only explain the fear if I was being chased by a T-Rex. That's the only thing that would scare me more than that fuel funny car. But that's the excitement of it, living on the edge. And that's what you get when you come to a race. So if you can't see it at one of our races on the NHRA schedule, we'll see it live on Fox Sports 1.
It feels like it's changed the dynamic around here because it just, like I said, feels like the sport's got a little bit of newfound momentum.
Well, it has, and Peter made that call.
Right.
I'm not saying, I don't look at any president or anybody in the past and take away what anybody's done. They all worked hard, they did it and accomplished and grew our sport, but we got hit by a tough economy.
No question.
And that economy was tough, and everything changed, and you got to give them 150%. You know, if you take $1, you better give them back 3.
Yeah.
It's really tough right now, but the TV package was hurting us. Fox has opened that door. They're showing us continually. We know we're tied up there with NASCAR now, and a lot of times we got bumped because we were up against at ESPN,
softball,
Little League Baseball,
yeah.
And you can't blame them for that. It's the kids' sport in America. Yeah. So I ain't taking anything away from that. But now we have time slots. We have 18 live TV shows, and we're going after 24. That means you turn it on in the morning and watch it.
Yeah, and see it happen as it's happening.
But Peter hung himself out. He took it all in-house to produce it. He's spending money. And when things get tough, you spend money. I lost a sponsor, and I spent more money than I did in the last 15 years to find a new sponsor. Yep. And I found some. I'm staying in business. Peter saw the problems. He made the change. Some of his people have gone. There's a lot of change, but he's producing the show the way they want to produce it. And Fox is going to put it out there live. And we're going to be okay. We're going to make it. If I can just get the rest of those delegates, I'm going to be okay. See that? I don't even know how that works. Watching too much. I'm watching too much Fox News.
Well, hey, Wes Buck here with John Force, and we're going to do our best to make drag racing great again. Thanks a bunch.
You want to make, with Buck here, see, I'm even going to plug your deal. Look at his magazine. Find out where it's at.
DragIllustrated.com.
Make the investment.
Go now. Subscribe right now. If you don't.
I'm there. I'm with him. And I'll tell you what, when you read it, you'll learn not just about NHRA drag racing and its stars, but what you'll learn about is all sports, because the man takes care of everybody, and that's why we like him.
Thank you so much, John.
Good luck out there, social media. You terrify me.